All right.
Um,
Yes, I consent, man.
well, thanks for that. Welcome back to KingWoes Cork, episode 43 inbound. Woo! And I'm joined by a good friend of mine and a guy who I've never met in my life, but he's meant to be a good musician. It's Evan and Alex from Worn Out. How are you guys?
Good, man. Yeah, flying it.
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, like, no, I'm actually pretty thrilled to be here.
Excellent. Thanks for coming on, lads.
Not a bother. He's doing fuck all anyway.
I thought thanks. Great. Make me feel great. I
could be playing Metroid, man.
I thought that was something else you were going to be playing with there with that noise.
Yeah, exactly.
But listen, it's good. I mean, wasn't that long ago. I was on the Metal Cell with you, Evan, and it was a great episode.
That's right, boy. I haven't stopped thinking about it since.
Well, what can I say? Shout out to Richie, of course. As I think I'm going to have to get him on this as well at some point.
It's only fair, like.
Yes, it's only fair. I want to. I really want to. So I don't know why you're starting to sound sexy there. Really, what the fuck? Like,
I was just about to say, you're saying this in a very erotic way. So
yeah, let the boy play, coach.
Yeah, let the boy watch.
Play ball.
Anyway, it's a different kind of podcast. We're here to talk about Worn Out. Some interesting music in that fucking energetic band. Alex, what do you play in that band?
I play guitar.
Lovely.
And sometimes I scream, but not so much.
Okay. Would you guys be into a lot of the old school hardcore, or is it mainly kind of more modern stuff?
Oh, definitely old school as well. I think a modern sound is kind of a natural thing to us. Like, I definitely like Cro-Mags. I was actually watching a lot of. Do you remember Inside Out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching a load of their like the reunion show from '93. I was watching that today. Yeah, like I think as well, it's like even if you don't listen to like older hardcore, there's a lot of newer bands that are still going to be influenced. So if you start at newer stuff, I think a lot of younger kids now will start at newer stuff and then gradually make their way down to the older stuff, like finding influences of bands you like. So
I think it's like that.
There.
Yeah, a lot of kids now who are into metal, or as you say, punk or hardcore, they will do that. They'll get what they have out first and then work backwards. I always find it cool. Like kids are just only discovering Rain and Blood now or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, for me, it's basically I'm not so much into old school hardcore or whatever. Like I'm more like into. Well, when it comes to stuff from back in the day, like the mathcore stuff, Converge. I know Brian, our bass player, he's madly into botch, and I'm kind of from the same like mindset, I would say. So yeah, so I think this is the interesting part for us. Like we mix a little bit of this because, like Evan said, he has like the Cro-Mags influence. Definitely, have like I bring the weird chords that sound like the guitar is badly out of tune. So yeah.
Deadly. I don't know whether I was ever telling you, Evan. I'm mad about Slapshot. You know Slapshot?
Yeah, Slapshot. Yeah.
That's where I'm at. And Biohazard and all that kind of stuff. And
Biohazard, absolutely. Yeah.
Cro-Mags though would probably be my favorite hardcore band. Like, they always have been.
Which would you go for now? Would you go for Hardy or JM?
I like them both, but I had got tickets to go and see Harley play, but that was obviously put in the back burner. If both of them came over, I'd go and see them both. It's separate shows.
Yeah.
I suppose I like Harley because I just love. I think he's a badass.
He's the attitude, though, isn't he? Like
he is Cro-Mags, right?
He is Cro-Mags. Yeah, 100%. I think the same.
He did it,
but I mean, like Jesus Christ, I'd go see either of them. Do you know
absolutely. But so yeah, you have a new. It was your debut EP. I thought you would have had a bit more out before then.
Nah, so did we.
And then COVID happened.
That's pretty much
it. Little thing, like.
Like we did, like when we first started. The initial idea was to get some, get singles out.
Yeah.
Keep writing and just have things to kind of come out. Not have a year in between things. So we got 3 singles out. and our guitarist Isaac, he left. So within that time, then we got Alex in, and straight away started writing. And like I think Alex came in, it was like a month before our first gig. Was it January or?
Yeah, I think it was January, and we played the first show in this lineup together in February. Yeah, I think
2010. Yeah. And then we recorded the EP in October, but obviously, like, it would have been out a lot earlier.
But you're 2 years ago. You have it for like, 2 years.
Yeah. Do you know what the funny thing is?
Exactly 2 years.
Wow.
When we released the first single, Miles Away, it was to the day from when we finished recording with Aiden. And like that wasn't that, I didn't plan that at all. It was just, you know, Facebook memories come up, and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I have to say, Aiden Cunningham is some fucking producer, isn't he? He's unreal.
Yeah, he's a prick.
Yeah, totally. I hate
you're allowed to say that
every second.
Aiden is the man. Yeah, Aiden's the man. We've worked on him. We've worked on everything with him so far. Like, we've all known Aiden for years, and even like Alex just met Aiden when we recorded with him, and he's just so easy to get along that the two of them are constantly talking now. Like, he's
brilliant.
Yeah, like we were
like we hit it off.
Of Murdoch.
Yeah.
I can't say enough
like
good
Aiden,
things, but
Aiden and I, we hit it off immediately because again, same musical background, and he like way after we went out of the studio said like it felt like him and myself like competing. What riff is more noisy? Can we put more feedback in or whatever? And yeah. So it's my brother in feedback.
Awesome. And you know, Evan, you'd probably be interested in this. Not that it's all about me, obviously, but we've gone from having fucking no songs to having 8 new songs in 2 days.
I actually just saw what you posted on Facebook today, and I fucking heart reacted the shit out of that.
I'm just like, we're having our first jam on Wednesday in nearly 2 years. So
really,
yeah, I can't.
Oh wow, that's a long time.
Can't wait.
We went 6 months without. It was nearly 6 months without playing.
Yeah.
Jesus, the fucking anxiety that I have when I'm going in for the first practice.
Yeah.
You're just like, you know it's going to be fine, and if it doesn't sound great the first time, you'll figure it out. But it's like, you know, just 6 months away from doing something that you were doing every single week. Do you know what I mean? Without fail, like in some, whether it was a gig or practice or anything, like it would just completely consumes you in a good way. And then it's just gone, and you're kind of like trying to figure out like, wow, do I actually have a personality, or is it just music?
It actually felt like, oh yeah, we're not in a band anymore. Like mentally, like I was like, yeah, I'm not in a band. So I started doing some other stuff. And then when we went back into the rehearsal space, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot, like this is a thing.
Yeah.
I play music with these guys.
I think as well, like when, because we recorded before the pandemic, that like, if you run into anybody at all, the last thing they remember you doing musically is an EP. And the amount of times you get, like, even from people that like have never heard us, never listened to Ant, it's just the go-to shit. What do I say to them? It's like, oh, what's the story with the EP? When's it coming out? You're like, I don't know. I think I made up so many lies. I told some people it was coming out. Like, if I met them in the pub and if people were asking, I just try to mess with people and be like, oh yeah, it's actually out on Friday. That we're just dropping it. They're like, really? No way. And I go the whole night just being like, yeah, absolutely. We're just dropping it. And like come up with this thing being like, yeah, no, he's got sick of waiting. Why not? And they're like, yeah, fair play. I'm like, fuck that shit.
Brilliant. Evan, I'm sure you've told this before on different podcasts or whatever, but who'll be your main influences for drumming?
Oh shit.
Because I want to hear it on my podcast, you know.
Like, I think I was actually talking to someone about this recently, and it's like, same way, like if I was to name my top 5 bands ever, I always go back to things that, like, when I first started drumming, like who I was listening to. Not that like I tried to emulate or anything, but I remember like Danny Carey was like from Tool, was the first drummer that I was like really just watching everything he did. And learning about his gear and what he was doing, like that was, like became an obsession that made me love playing drums. Drum influence had from like Slave Zero, Nearly Dead Jim, Bricktop, another great Irish hardcore band. He was like class, even as absolutely, but like him, like his style of playing, his work ethic, like it would just all became this huge thing. And then like little things like that. So you're like, oh, you're drummer. I'm like, yeah, Bob Ryan would actually be a massive one for me. But
I've tried to get that motherfucker into so many bands. It's unbelievable.
I'd play any instrument to be in a band with Bob. Like I talk to him regularly. Like he's the man. And every time I talk to him, I'm still like, it's like, fuck, I'm friends with my favorite drummer. But it like, I just find that whenever you say it to someone, they're like, yeah, but like what big band? I'm like, yeah, like, depends what I'm listening to at that time, but it really is like what influenced me to be like, I really want to do this was going to see Slave Zero, and Nearly Dead Jim, and just being like, I think when you see it on a scale that you're like, this is only like 20-minute walk from my house, I can fucking do this, rather than that was more influential to me than going to see big massive stage being like, oh, I can do that. I was like, no, I can start here and I can get there, but I can do this. Like, so Bob Ryan was actually a massive one for me.
It's always amazing when you have someone like that on your scene or in your area that you can, as you said, one, kind of look up to or respect, and then two, become friends with and potentially play with them in the future, like, and that was like me with Hoytum on the Ashori thing.
Because I loved Eyes Closed, man. Eyes Closed. Like even Jay from Hero and Error. Yeah. I'm like, Jay was the drummer in Eyes Closed, and he's fucking ridiculously good drummer. And I think people forget how good of a drummer Jay is. Like,
well, and Jay Doyle as well.
Yeah,
who was in Red Enemy, and
that's same Jay. That's
He I know, I'll never forget, like, because Lango was in 2001 with us.
I remember that, right? Yeah.
He used to be just like, he idolized Jay as a drummer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jesus, these are as good as each other. And then he was like, he took up bass. He just felt like playing bass. And he's an amazing
He's just player. Unbelievable at it. Yeah.
Fucking unreal. Like,
you hate people like that as well, don't you? Like that they're just like, I'm just going to pick this up and be sick at it. Whereas like, I have to fight to be moderate. Do you know what I mean? Like,
oh, stop, will you?
I have to hit hard and just be a showman, just so people aren't like see through the veil. Like,
it's all in the grit, man.
Don't be selling yourself short, okay? Alex, who were your influences?
Oof, that's a very, very good question, man. Like, there's so many influences. Like, I still hear influences from early Korn stuff. Like, this is the stuff that I grew up on. I still hear stuff from like early Slipknot influences, but I think like in the most recent years, the guitar players or like the bands that influenced me the most is like War from a Harlot's Mouth from Berlin, Germany.
Okay, like
they have this like dissonant stuff. They had it down so much until they broke up, and now like the follow-up band Nightmare, just like top notch for me. And I also like the rhythmic, like interesting stuff like that Meshuggah does. And you know what? Nothing of this is in our music at all.
That's amazing when you have that kind of taste, and it doesn't have to come across in your music. Like, I mean, that's the great thing about music and creating music.
Yeah. But I think like the cool thing about what we're doing is like we're a hardcore band. We probably will always be a hardcore band. But I think over time, and we already like writing some new stuff, and like the influence broadened so much. And it's not just like we're like the bass four to the floor hardcore band. There's so many like new nuances in it. Maybe a bit hard to describe, but it will, like, if this EP is out, I hope people will like it, but the stuff we're writing now will be something else.
Well, I mean, it's probably a progression. Sorry to cut in on you, Evan, there. It's probably a progression from what you're bringing out, because as you say, you have it there 2 years,
That's exactly
absolutely
it. Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a bad way, by the way.
No, but
absolutely.
That's actually it, because like these are 2 years. I really feel like like I'm, you know, so proud of this EP, and it's kind of like,
Yeah.
I think as well that oh man, when you're sitting on something for 2 years, like I was saying to you before the podcast started, like it's easy to come on and like when you're promoting something being like, yeah, it's just heavy and it's fucking blah blah blah, and yeah, we knew exactly blah blah blah, but there's totally times where like you don't, like there was stages where I don't know if gigs are coming back, and then you're listening to this thing and you're like, it rots it. Well, I can't speak for everyone else, but it fucking rotted my brain for a while, where I was like, there was one stage where I nearly was thinking, will I build up the courage to say to the lads that I think we should scrap it and do something else?
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? Like it really, when you're sitting on something like that and it's taking that long for it to be out of your system and for to be in everyone else's eyes to judge, you then start like listening to everything and being like, oh, I could have done this, I could have done this, I could have done this, and or maybe that's not right. Like I listened to it through different speakers and I was just like, I don't know if it's good anymore, but stayed away from it and then came back to it when we're getting ready to release it, and I'm like, I'm so proud of this.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I think like we all went from like really loving it when we finished it, then to super hating it like in the meantime, because we were just like sitting there and it was just like you said, rotting away. Like this is tucked away somewhere. Nobody can listen to it except for us, and that's just not how it's supposed to be. And then you're just starting to notice all the little things. I should have done something different here. I should have played it a little bit different. That's not perfect. And so yeah, but now I'm also in a place like I'm really fucking loving this again. Like I'm actually been blasting this today like a couple of times at work, and I was like, yeah, that's something that I'm actually really proud of, and I'm super proud of us like for pulling through, because like a couple of times it was like it felt like, oh, this is never gonna come out.
yeah, totally. Like I think when you're doing like through the entire pandemic, like the big part of it, we were working so hard behind the scenes for everything that we could do, that like every band is a business, and like whether people want to admit that or not, it's like at the end of the day you got to plan shit, you got to blah blah blah. It's like, I get it, like fucking music, woo, yeah, but like there's a business side of it. Like there is a business side of it, and like whatever if you don't think there is, but when you're just doing the business side of it for months without having
and
even
making music,
making music and not being able to practice and just you know play with other people, that was the point where I was like, this is fucking, like, still knew that we were going to do it, but it got fucking hard, that it was like it'll weigh you down. But I think it's a testament to the EP itself that it's like, I think we're all just like, we know this is a shit time for the world, that we will get this out and this release will be so worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but also like a different thing about this is like, I think this is a testament to us, like as a group of people, to us, like as a group of friends, because like pulling through 2 years while sitting on this and like really going to bad places with each other and then going back to, hey, we're fucking best buddies. This is a testament to like, we won't probably go away anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah,
that's great. I love hearing that kind of positivity about your stuff and your material and passion.
just honest too. Though, that's the thing. Like,
I love that, you know,
that 100%, man. Yeah.
You know, so I'm really excited for you to fucking get this thing out. I really am.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah. Well, the single, what's the single called?
Miles Away.
Miles Away. That's a pretty badass fucking track, I have to say.
Yeah, I think that track is like the perfect, like it's the staircase of where everyone thinks like it has like relevant things that people are like, this is the worn out kind of sound that we might have had.
Yeah.
But it's moving. I think we picked that as the single just to be like, there's other songs on it that we didn't want to just all of a sudden be like, boom, this is this whole new thing.
Yeah.
That it's like, it has elements, but it's also showcasing some other parts of us and new things that, like it has a small bit of everything, but then the other 3 tunes are like
If someone asks me about it, I always say like this song is a little bit of a departure, even though we're not departing anywhere. But it still has like Evan said, all the elements that were in Worn Out even before I joined.
Yeah.
But then of course, having a new guitar player in a band, a new person brings in new influences. This is just natural. And yeah, this is probably the first song where I felt like the influences that these guys had and the influences I have like melted together really well. And also just how fast we wrote this song. This is probably the fastest I've ever wrote a song in my entire life.
Cool.
One practice, that's it.
we were waiting for Brian to get up and Alex just started playing, and I shit you not, about 70% of the song, the way it is, we jammed out and we're like, wait, try this, and then like Brian came in and we're like, hey, listen to this thing we're doing, and Brian was like, cool, wait, I got some ideas here, how about, like, you know, and it, like, we played it, like I said, Alex joined a month, like, because we were doing auditions and stuff, and we were like, yeah, Alex, you're in. And we had this, we played this at our first gig with Alex. Do you know what I mean? Like, this was...
Oh, yeah, we played this at the first show, actually, right?
Because it just happened so quick, and it was like, well, why the fuck not? Like,
yeah, exactly.
We might as well.
That's very similar in approach to the way we would do new songs as well, actually, because if we finish a song quick enough and it's solid enough, we'll try it out, you know, and that'll decide then whether it stays or goes, really, to be honest. You know?
Yeah, I think a lot of the time you can be sitting in a room being like, oh, this part, and it's like, well, you know, a part that I might not be sure of, if we play it live and the reaction that you get is bigger than the part that I said I liked, it's like, well, fuck me, like,
what do I know?
I was wrong, whatever.
That's it. Alex, so are you the main vocalist, are you?
No, I'm not the main vocalist. I'm just playing guitar and doing some doing some background. Whoa.
Right. So what is there any particular lyrical like issues that we're talking about on this EP, or is it just, you know?
I think it's kind of hard to get into Xander's head, to be honest. Which is a good thing in my opinion. In some ways, I think his lyrics are pretty straightforward, but they have some depth to it. And I mean, if you watch the video 2 miles away, and if you read the lyrics, I think they're up on streaming services as well. If you read along to it, and I think there's just like a lot going on inside him. And this is so funny because when you talk to him and when you meet him, it's like the most like chill person ever. It's like, hey Xander, how are you? Hey man, what's up? It's more like Xander, but he's like so much going on inside his head, and like.
Well, that's awesome because like it's obviously a good thing for him to be able to get that shit out in his music, you know.
Absolutely.
And that can be, you know yourselves, lads, that can be bigger than anything. Like, some of the best therapy for you is to release it out on your music, you know.
Yeah, I think there's definitely like there's a physical side to getting rid of an emotion that I think is stronger than a lot of things. Do you know what I mean? Like, you get like there's a lot to be said for therapy, and you know, Jesus Christ, I'm not shy of it, but at the same time, it's like there's something about just properly physically getting it out, because we are, as humans, physical beings. So I can imagine like it coming from your throat, like. Ooh wee!
It's an experience when you expel something that's been up here for a while out through your fucking, as you said, through your throat or whatever, which way you do it.
Well, like for me, this is like making music is so cathartic for me. Like if I'm doing this or doing some other shit that I do beside Worn Out, it's all like when I write some stuff, I just want to write something cathartic for me. And I know, like Evan said this before, it's all about the feel for him, like playing it loud, playing it heavy. And for me, it's like just like conveying my emotions, maybe, you know.
And that's always a good thing. you know.
Yeah.
No, I just want to play tunes about fucking smoking fags and drinking beer.
But you know, we'd say, all right, yeah, that's Evan as well, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm
Drinking
gonna
fags and smoking beer.
I was just thinking this, man.
Evan,
Smoking drinks and fagging beers.
Yeah.
Evan, you have good knowledge of music. Yeah, I know you do. And I only say that, Alex, because I know Evan. That's all. It's no offense. So I don't know if you noticed, Evan. I always say to whoever's on the podcast, I throw a name out of a band and see if they know them. If they know them, it hasn't happened yet because I've been successful all the time.
As in someone not knowing them.
Yeah.
Because I remember you did the God Alone one, the lads didn't. So I'm like, right.
Yeah. So you're getting ready for this. Okay.
Yeah.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah. Well,
fuck this.
No. Well, you see, the one I picked for you. Well, it's for you mainly. It's a local band, but so you know, you could. I'm putting myself at risk here. You know, I'm losing me undefeated streak. My name is Satan.
Fuck you.
Yes. They're an old hardcore band from. I think they're from Dublin.
Don't know.
I'll try and find a link for you and send it to you because I know.
I actually, for a second there, I thought you were going to say Ocus for some reason. I don't like they're a band from Cork. I got you.
No way.
I'll have to check them out.
Yeah, they're some deadly stuff. You know, they weren't around for very long, and they're good. They're gone now, obviously. But they had one release, and it was fucking class. And if you can't find it, let me know because I think I might have it somewhere.
Yeah, if you can find it, send it on to me. If I can find it online, I'll definitely, because that name is sick.
Yeah, it's fucking cool. Like, so yeah, Alex, that's the kind of stuff I do.
Yeah. All right.
Let me see. So let me see. Is there anyone I don't even know? Like you look them up as well, right?
Check them out.
My name is Satan. So look, I see Docs did the video for you, yeah.
Yeah, Doc,
right.
Yeah, Doc was amazing with that as well.
He's a
from
he's a
Red
lunatic,
Enemy,
isn't he?
The Scratch. Yeah, he fair play to him as well because he did it like this. That video was done at the height of lockdown. You know, as in like this is how long it was last year that video was done. So again, holding on to everything. We've had the actual physical vinyls. We've had them since June. You know, it's not a pre-order that we're waiting in line now for 6 months. We did the 6 month wait a year ago. Like, do you know what I mean?
Oh wow, deadly.
Yeah, we had a few like Zoom calls with Doc. Just kind of went over a few ideas, and Sean Doyle, the guy in the video, he's actually in. Do you know Normal People?
I've heard of the name.
It was like a big show there on RT, and it went fucking massive. But the two of them were just like he was like, look, I have an idea for a guy. And we were very just like, yeah, if you can pick a guy, we basically gave him a shot list of like, right, we want someone doing this. And he was like, cool, I'll get him do it. Like he shaved his fucking head for
hours. It was insane. Wow.
Yeah, we did Doc sent us a picture of like loads of hair with loads of like pots and pans, like wet hair. And he was just like, yeah, shoot's going good, lads. I was like, oh my fuck. Like I really wanted to get the brush in the teeth with the blood thing. And he was just sending me phone pictures of him doing it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like he went all out. He fucking nailed it.
Yeah, he always did, even when he was playing.
We knew exactly. Before we even really had an idea for a video, I think we kind of knew we want Doc to do it, whatever that video is going to be. We just were like, we want Doc to do it.
Deadly, that's class. Like I said, I know it's a bit of a short episode tonight, I'm afraid. But I'm sure you will come on again, and we'll have a bit more time to have a chat with us if that's all right.
Yeah, fucking
sure, absolutely, man.
Yeah,
I hate to cut you off at the knees, but you know yourself.
Yeah, but sure, look, it's a bite-sized thing.
Yeah,
it's bite-sized. Yeah.
Well, I just think it was great. It's great to be able to talk to us about the EP, and again, apologies for not having you on for so long.
To be honest, man, even when we were talking about it, we had nothing to talk about. You know, it's only now that we really do. Like, there was no point in having this on fucking 6 months ago, I would have just been saying big things are coming soon. Fuck.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm not doing it. I'll talk when I have something to talk about. Well,
Yeah.
no, I'll fucking talk.
I think for now it's just like we can finally talk about this. We finally have something out there. So it feels so liberating actually to just say, hey, we have the song. Have you watched our new music video?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So,
So
like,
what kind of releases are we getting? Are we getting? I saw we're getting an EP or a LP. Yeah.
Yeah. EP with so 10-inch white vinyl.
Nice.
If you're saying this is going out on Wednesday, whatever day.
Yeah.
We have hoodies, t-shirts, and 10-inch white vinyl. These, I think I need to stress it as well. I feel bad for a lot of bands that are like, a lot of fucking even massive bands are in that horrible line of trying to wait for the vinyl pressing plant because it's like there's only one in the world apparently.
Jeez.
But we have vinyls sitting in Alex's house.
Yeah. They're all here.
Lovely.
Got them.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like we got them. So yeah, the pre-orders will go up on Friday, November 5th, and the EP is released everywhere on 3rd of December.
Lovely.
Yeah, and then we have, on Friday we're launching there's the EP, hoodie, t-shirt, but we're hoping to have, once the EP comes out, the vinyl will land somewhere close to that in your home.
Yeah.
Which is great. This is kind of what we wanted. Like we didn't want to. There was talks about label things, but then when the pandemic hit, we were just kind of like, do you know what? I'm not arse waiting for labels to be like, oh, wait here. Can we wait a while? We're like, no.
Fuck them. Fuck them.
We know we're gonna have to wait anyway, so it's like we just forked out fucking money, just to be like, we'll just sell them ourselves.
Yeah.
We'll be sitting. I'd rather be looking at it than looking for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Fair play.
And the cool thing about this is, and I'm not going to spill the beans here, but this is just the start. Like there's a little. I mean, I hate to be the big things coming, but this is just like the start. We got some more things in the pipeline for the future that we will just announce it when it's time. But it won't be 2 years. I can tell you.
Hey, look, that wasn't your fault. You know what I mean? It
actually was Alex's fault. The entire thing was Alex's fault.
Yeah, you prick.
Sorry, man.
You COVID prick.
I recorded the riffs one string at a time.
Yeah.
That's why it's so clear.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Awesome. Well, gentlemen, it's been absolutely great chatting to you. It's great, always great to talk to you, Evan and Alex. I'm sure we'll be talking to each other again. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
There'll be a Fibbers gig now that we have hands over each other, listen to fucking Motley Crue.
Absolutely. So the video is out on the tour. Was that what you said? Sorry.
No, the video for Miles Away is out. It's the actual EP itself is out on the 3rd of December, and pre-orders go up on the 5th of November.
Cool. Well, if it's all right with yourselves, I'll play the video at the end of this episode, if that's all right.
100%, man. Yeah,
absolutely. Man.
Deadly.
Play the fucking shit out of it.
Oh, we will. So, anyways, we're going to head off from KingWoes Court now. It was episode 43, and I had the amazing Worn Out. And again, thanks so much for coming on to KingWoes Court. It's been awesome.
Thanks for having us, mate. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Peace out. Thanks so much, man.
Adios.
Really appreciate it.
Adios.
Continue to take me apart. I know you will. to live, for to die. But these days keep slipping away from me. These hours pass me by, keep passing every time. Holding on to a lie that will only fade in time. You turn the life out of me for so long. I wonder when has it gone? The question way smothers me day by day. Serenity is a million miles away. You turn the life out of me for so long. I wonder when has it gone? The question why. Serenity is a million miles away. I know you will, never be eternity. You said I had a time with the world. These words are meaningless to me. You drained the life out of me for so long. I wonder when has the time gone? Where has it 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 gone? I never thought I